I'm into reality. With my third eyes open and I like what I see. Baby, I might be crazy, but I didn't lose it, no, I set it free. I'm just a psycho, babe, coming to out my mind. I didn't lose it, babe, there wasn't much so fun.
Luther commentary jump scare. Hello! I have some extra behind the scenes stuff for you all. If you just wanted to have a peek of my parts, then you're free to go and watch the full map if you haven't already. Because it turned out amazingly. Everyone's parts are brilliantly wonderful and creative. Go! Quick! Unless you already have, in which case pull up a chair with anyone else who decides to stick around. So what's on the screen at the moment is the storyboards for part 19, and aside from the rough animation, that's all there is. Sketch, storyboard, then into the final animation. Quite standard, yeah. Well, for part 5 I had not 1, 2, even 3 would be reasonable, but 5 different versions of this same part, then the final storyboard I went with. Pretty much I could not for the life of me pick what I wanted it to be. But without wasting any more time, let's have a look at the first idea. In all of these I was focusing on getting Saint to do some kind of weird reality bendy thing because he cannot commit to reality. And as you can see in this one, Saint's flying around, being wacky. It's boring! This one's boring. Next one. Okay, we are getting somewhere. That's pretty crazy, right? I still scrapped this one, but as you can see, the seeds of my final animation are in there. Snake Saint, dubbed by the map server, river sliding down. I wasn't cooking, but I had a few ingredients, you know. I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to say about this one. I do think the way it's laid out is ugly too, but it had potential. Number 3. So, you may be thinking this looks exactly like the one in the final map part I showed earlier, but after I made this up, I threw it out into the Shadow Realm and made another storyboard. Clearly at the time I must have lost my marbles because I really like this part. It's fun and silly and has a perfect amount of wibbly wobblies. If I remember rightly, the reason I changed it is because I thought I wouldn't have enough frames to fit it in, as there was a loose script to stick to. But I was just being a melt, because obviously I had time in the end. So number 4 and 5. I guess I decided Snake Saint was a bit too interesting, so we have Saint Armstrong instead. I don't hate this part, and it's got lots of elements that I like. Apart from that last part. I don't know what happened there. So this second to last storyboard is an altered version of number 4. I changed the very awkwardly animated pullback to basically the same drop from whip number 3. I also added Saint running off quickly in the background and Rivulet landing in the same pose as whip number 3 later on. I think this has that more silly vibe I was going for, but it's still pretty rough around the edges. And it still has that weird ending. So there's actually 6? I don't have anything to say about this one, I just found it. So there's actually 6 storyboard alterations in total. But now we can move on to the final storyboard. So firstly I came to my senses and added Long Saint back into the first part. For my third eye's opener, I like what I see. I had Saint come from the side, similar to my fourth whip, with less of whatever this is meant to be, and made him upside down instead. I have absolutely no clue why, but while cleaning up part 19, I randomly had a brain blast of Saint upside down, long arm. So I drew this and screenshotted it, and then just copied the lipstick over from whip 5. And from there everything else fell right into place. That's just about the end of this video. I thought it would be nice to show some of the process of making these parts, and I hope it was a little interesting or entertaining to see. I want to say a huge, great, big, massive thank you to my lovely patrons for supporting my animations and videos. It means the world to me and I can't thank you all enough. Thank you to Frightened Sloth, Lucario7, Nibbles, Ash Martin, The Orper, Chipsfish, Sniper Shark, HS Gem, Frank Fontaine, Patchy, BV, and Chips to Changeling. If you would like to, you can check out my Patreon to support my channel and get a drawing of your character. I put a lot of early animation sneak peeks on there. And as well as thanking the patrons, I'd like to thank you for watching all the way to the end of the video. It helps me out a ton and I really appreciate that people like the things I make. With all that being said, I hope I'll see you in the next one. Bye! Also, sorry I have had a cold for a while so my voice is more messed up than normal, but I hope it wasn't too insufferable for this video.